right, welcome everyone to Mystics Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here, Ricardo W. Jr., and Wilson Tarbert Jr. The Washington Mystics have the two-game winning streak snapped as the Lynx beat the Mystics 94-84, which also gives the Lynx the win in their season series. They came into tonight's game, as we shared with you earlier on Outlook, tied one game apiece right here in the building. So we'll start with you. Um, your take on tonight's game and where things kind of went wrong for Washington.
Yeah, the Lynx, they just were a little sharper more consistently than the Mystics. The first quarter, the Lynx came out firing on all cylinders. Mystics jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Lynx immediately responded with a 10-0 run. Um, yeah, the basket was super wide for them in the first quarter. But credit to the Mystics, they weathered the early storm and immediately responded. They ended the first quarter with a 26-25 lead. Um, but the Lynx, they're the number one team in the league for a reason. They kind of turned up the pressure, started wasn't turnovers. The Mystics looked a little frazzled in the second quarter, and the Lynx started to pretty much take control of the game. They won that quarter 24-16. And then it was just kind of a back and forth. But like I said, the Lynx they just took advantage of the opportunities more. Their defense was they were harassing the Mystics, man. And at points the Mystics handled the pressure pretty well. But at other points they were just kind of throwing the ball away when they were getting to the paint. They weren't protecting the ball, and the Lynx would get their hands in there and cause turnovers. Against other teams, those are layups for the Mystics. But yeah, the Lynx were super aggressive, and they were able to make the Mystics kind of do things they weren't really prepared to do offensively. Natasha Howard, man, she was just pinning people under the rim, catching the ball, and doing the work. And Olivia Miles, just the way she controlled the game, picking her spots, toggling between setting up her teammates or just getting the job done herself. When she makes it up in her mind to get to the rim, she does an excellent job of getting into the defender's body and finishing. And yeah, man, she's just a handful to deal with. And then the Lynx 3-point shooting. They started hot in the first quarter, cooled off a little bit, but during the later stages of the game, it picked back up. Kayla McBride pretty much iced the game with two back-breaking threes late in the fifth quarter, and that was pretty much all she wrote. But yeah, man, it is good test for the Mystics. Of course, Minnesota didn't have feet tonight, but there's still a formidable team without her. She wasn't there for a large part of the season already, and they still were in pole position from the gate. So yeah, man, it's just a really good basketball team, and kudos to the Mystics for sticking in there, but they still have a ways to go. In order to get to that level, which is understandable, but just clean a few things up, knock down some free throws. They struggled shooting from distance tonight, and clean up those turnovers. But yeah, the Lynx they do improve while they're number one team.
Ricardo.
Yeah, like we said in the pregame, to beat Minnesota, you can't beat yourselves, and the turnovers, the points they allowed off those turnovers, missing the free throws, that second quarter where Natasha Howard went crazy, had 11 points and 4 rebounds on 5 of 5 shooting, and they outscored the Mystics 24-16. That kind of ended up, in a sense, being the gap, the margin of victory, dang there for the Lynx, man. You just can't eat without fees. Like Ray said, they know how to play without fees. They played most of the season without her, so adding her is just another nuke that they could just throw at you. But they know how to get down without her. You know what I mean? They're very comfortable doing that. So it wasn't like it was going to be a less than team and stuff like that. You can't hurt yourself. You can't beat yourself, and that's what the Mystics did, man. Even in that, going back to that second quarter, outside of Natasha's production, Minnesota actually flipped the script on Washington. Ray touched on their defense, suffocating the Mystics. Man, they held the Mystics to 37% shooting from the field. Um, and out rebounded them 10-8, and get this, had 10 assists to the Mystics 4. Only turned the ball over twice, but the Mystics had 5 turnovers in that quarter. They had more turnovers than assists. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's when that gap, happened. And when you do that, Minnesota's going to make you pay. And that's why you can't help them beat you, man. You got to be on point at time. Majority of the game, the Mystics were, but it was just little spurts where Minnesota was clicking on all cylinders, and the Mystics made mistakes, and Minnesota capitalized off of them. You just can't allow that to happen, man. And even in that quarter, Minnesota had 24, but 9 of their points came off the 5 Mystics turnovers for the game. 21 points off of 14 Mystics turnovers, and 14 turnovers you can live with, just not against this team. You know what I mean? Like, you just, not when they only have 6 for the game, and it's just tough to overcome that. Then they shoot 90% from the free throw line. Then they shoot 52% from the field and 40% from the three-point line. So you really didn't take nothing away. You gave them more opportunities to score with the turnovers, and then with the assist game, it was pretty close, 25-21, but they still won that. And obviously the Mystics beat everybody on the board, so that's hardly ever a concern. But even points to paint was damn near even, 40-36. So yeah, the Mystics really didn't really come out of this with nothing they could really say they won towards trying to show that they can beat this team tonight. And that's what it was, man. And fortunately, 10 of their turnovers came from 2 of their top players, their top 2 players. It's just tough to overcome, man. And that's why Minnesota has 31 wins and the favorite to win this thing. Tough loss for the Mystics, because that means they dropped to 7th currently. They got to figure it out against these top teams, because if it keeps going like this, they will be facing one of these top teams in the playoffs. And what you say was in the records 2-1 Minnesota head to head.
Yeah, they got the tiebreaker tonight with a win.
Okay, so now you got the edge, and if you do see this team in the playoffs, you will be seeing fees unless something happen that we hope don't happen, like an injury or something like that, and you will be in their building. Growing pains is tough, but they got to take that next step. On the bright side, I like what I saw out of Georgia, because against the last 2 games against Minnesota, it's been very bad. But look, if you could deal with that defense, you could deal with Olivia, still be productive, 10, 5, and 5. She wasn't the most efficient from the field overall. She was 3 of 6 from the deep. But if you could deal with that, and she didn't turn the ball over, she's tracking. She's tracking in the right way.
Yeah, I think that was great. You brought up Jordan. I thought she was solid tonight, but Cardell there in pregame, like, Natasha Howard has hit the 20-point mark in every game these teams have played. And I know that was just my little 2 cents I threw in there in pregame earlier, but it was something I was worried about because for the most part, like, we see Washington have the edge inside with, their 3-headed monster, whatever. Natasha Howard's been fine this season. She's caused problems for them. Just, the times when Washington's bigs have a propensity to kind of step over and help. You leave Natasha Howard, the first thing she does when her body leaves, she finds somebody small and put put them in the dirt, essentially. And she's getting offensive rebound. Or Minnesota moves the ball so well, like you pointed out in pregame. They move the hell out of the ball. That ball is going to find Natasha Howard. And then even in some of those little gaps, like, again, known for her defense. I know one of the clips we had up there earlier, she caught the ball on the elbow, little right to left, hit the mid-range jumper. She got them out of a couple awkward possessions, just doing what she does. She brings a lot to the table, often overlooked for teams that she's been a part of. I think sometimes people look back, what Seattle did earlier with Stewie, Sue, Jewel. Tasha Howard was right there, man. That was a big piece of that. Um, and she's been huge for them this season. You talked about they're used to playing without Fee. Natasha Howard is a big reason why they're comfortable playing without Fee. Because everything, and it's not, as you said, it's not a knock on Fee Collier at all. It's just more of a it's feather in the cap to to the Lynx, how they built a roster where you have the perfect running mate. Like Nafisa has a running mate that Asia hasn't been able to have yet, where you can go nuclear, or if you're not there, it's kind of like, oh, good, oh, God, what happens? Like Howard's right there. She's fully capable of doing what needs to be done. So in that first game this season, she had 20 and 6 and then 5 steals. The game the Mystics won, she had 21 points, 15 rebounds. And then tonight, 21 points on 10 to 12 shooting, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. Like, we talk about teams that, Wizards killers, Mystics killer, what have you. Natasha Howard has been that this season for Washington. And like you said, if, because of this game and the implications on it, if you end up seeing Minnesota later, like, that's still a problem that has to be solved, whether Fees is there or Fees is not there. Washington has to solve, along with the turnovers, you have to solve the Natasha Howard problem. You have yet to solve it. You're 0-3 with that issue that that she presents. She has presented this season. You guys had anything else you wanted to add before I put player the game up? All right, what's up on the screen? What you guys got for the night?
Rookie.
Yeah, Natasha was balling, but yeah, man, that's one of the most dominant rookies we've ever seen.
Facts. There's nothing to add, no arguments, nothing. This is, hey man, Xfactor.
Natasha, man, you might have to just roll her, man. And she, look, every player is just you have that one player in the league or wherever level you're playing at that you just struggle with. Shakira struggles with Natasha Howard. I don't know what it is, man. Like it's consistent. It's like she loves seeing Shakira. And I get it ain't all on Shakira because they switching and all that, man. But the head to head, it's just crazy. It's crazy, man. But she got the size and the athleticism, and she got years on Shakira, so it's nothing she hasn't seen. We remember young Natasha when she was with Stewie. You know what I mean? Like with Sue and all that, and winning all those rings. So on the position to win all those rings, and so I she's been around the block a while, man. But she still can get it done, as we all can see. So she's the X factor for real. They got to do something about her. Matter of fact, she's the X factor for them. Period. But
Yep.
this game definitely her.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will get to some of these comments we got here. 11C jumped out here with 3 straight comments, so we will get them on the screen. Ain't put this out in a while, but they got that on trusty belt tonight.
I ain't gonna quite go that far. It was competitive.
Yeah,
the belt,
it was a winnable game. Just in spurts. The Lynx just like when it was bad for the Mystics, it got a little bad. But to that point, like just the growth of this team early in the season, this is a blowout because they wouldn't have been able to maintain their composure and regroup fast enough before that snowball just got downhill. So yeah, that just shows how they matured. But yeah, Minnesota different.
I mean, Cardell has said it several times this year. We talk about going back to those Aces games, championship level teams. There's a reason that they won. There is a gap. You have to close that gap. Like those games with the Aces, we just saw the Aces execute in different spurts, and that was the separator. Tonight, like Ray, you talked about, yeah, earlier in the season, that start that Minnesota got off to, Washington doesn't, they don't hold their ground and return fire and then end up leading at the end of the first. But again, those little things, those small areas that decide winning games. Yeah, man, this is why Minnesota's right there. This is why the Aces were able to separate when they had to. Like Washington has to continue to improve, as you guys mentioned, to try to close the gaps on those teams. And Cardell keeps saying it. You can't. Like, you're already going against a damn good team. You can't help them put you away. And unfortunately, Washington they continue to play a role in their own demise against top level teams.
And that's a sign of their youth. That's what young teams do. Their experience. Older teams don't do that. You might have a couple plays, but it's not like 5 minutes of it. It's literally just 1 or 2 plays, and they correct things. And we also cannot Cheryl, man. I know Becky right there too, but she the best coach in the game, man. She knows what to do. She's been in every situation. It's not nothing new. She done seen it all, man. So uh, let's be real. When Fees got injured, we know they drafted Olivia. We wasn't expecting them to be at the top of the league. Nobody was. You know what I mean? And they came out the gate just killing. And then they lost Letitia Hyman. You know what I mean? And I think they let her go because she got the bag, but they knew they was going to try to get Olivia on one of the guards anyway. But you got the coaching aspect. Not saying that the Mystics, like Coach Sidney, like he did something bad and like that's not what it was. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that experience of understanding how to get your team right to win games, game in and game out, because of all the championships they won. She rarely gets talked about like she should. Even it's a reason why she been USA coach the last couple of times. Her resume speaks for itself. Like we started covering the W when she was leading the charge when they was dynasty mode with Maya, Sylvia, Rebecca Brunson, like all those Simone, the point guard. I don't know why her name slips my mind right now. The point guard from Minnesota.
Whalen.
Yeah, Lindsay Whalen. Yeah,
Lindsay Whalen. She know how to coach talent and she know how to get the best out of players. It's been consistent. Man. So yeah, they're a problem now that they got that rookie, man. It done changed everything. So keeping Fees healthy is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
And just add on to your point about the coaching. Yeah, Whalen's on that staff with Brunson too. You want to talk about something that's great for a young guard? You
And
guys should have even Lindsey Whalen.
And he won with his pops as an assistant.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure he didn't like how he had it, got the exit out of DC. So every chance he get, he wants to get. I know he do. We used to call him Lil T. So what I'm saying. So yeah, they got an accomplished staff full of winners. They done seen everything. That's hard to game plan for.
I think the worst part about the free throw is that our best two shooters barely get to the line.
You know what? The bigs don't always get to the line because of their style of play. They play inside out. So, but regardless, I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about when they get there making them. That's been the issue all season. And again, they missed 6 free throws. It's a different ball game. Minnesota only missed 1, 9 to 10. They didn't get to the line a lot either. And Olivia and they damn sure was driving. So this was just one of them games the refs was like, nah, y'all go ahead and duke it out. So it is what it is. But if you're going to get there, make them. Like Shakira, she was 3 for 4. Kiki was 5 for 7. It's just players that miss 1 or 2, but they add up. And these type of games against the top teams, you got to hit them, man. Because think about it. At home, you lose by 10 with these mistakes. And it was closer than what the 10-point margin is. It was a lot closer. But imagine if they was in Minnesota. It's probably 15 to 20 in that range now because you got to account for the crowd and certain players not playing well because they on the road. And this is why you just can't beat yourself and make those minor mistakes.
Sad part is this was one of Georgia's best games. Sonya was playing for the other team in that first half with the turnovers.
Yeah, she ain't had the best game.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, they teammates and all that, but Olivia know her game though, so that's just tough. Like you gotta get somebody else to kind of guard her because you can see it when you see her guard her. It's just she like, oh, this practice right now. You know how I used to go. That's you can tell. That's how I look. So now everybody about to see how I used to go behind closed doors. So you could just tell.
If they make the playoffs versus these 2 top teams, oh man.
Obviously the Lynx. So you talking about the Valkyries or and the Aces, or honestly, out of those 3, you gotta throw the Aces in there because Asia,
Yeah. So they did, dog.
Yeah, you gotta kill them. You gotta kill them.
So you lay her down, and I need to see the body. They in the mix. Like that's where I'm at with it. I'm sorry.
Since we on Doomsday Watch, we're gonna talk Marvel. This is when Thor hit him, put the axe in his chest. He said, "You should have went for the head." That's the aces.
Yeah.
You got to take him out. You got to go for the head.
Yeah.
So until that happens,
Man.
they still right there. But yeah, I think out of those three for the Mystics, the best matchup is the Valkyries because they're not the most potent offensively. It's a defensive battle, and they got the size and the versatility up front to try to take advantage of them. So right now they will be playing the Valkyries because I believe they're 7th now with the loss. So they'll be playing the Valkyries. Stay out that A spot. You don't want that problem. You don't want those problems. And you don't want to see it. And to be real, I mean, as a competitor, you don't care. But that's just we being realistic about what we've seen throughout the season. That's our job. You don't want to see playoff Asia either. Jackie Young. You saw what Jackie did. You don't want to see the playoff version of them. They're a different animal. Look, we saw them last year. We thought they was dead. The last year, look what happened. So
the nation wrote their obituary last year until they said they wasn't dead.
So yeah, what Wilson said. Well, you know, what Bane was from Dark Knight. Bring me the body. He's like, where's the body?
I need proof, and I need like proof of like twice before I'm like, okay, they out of here. Like, I need it twice, though. Like,
I need a signed death certificate, man. I need it.
With a selfie next to it, like I need it. Like, he imaging all that. I need that.
Just text the photo. You ain't even got to show it. Just text the photo. Like, all right, yeah, cool. Otherwise, you got to get that Bane treatment. He went down the sewage drain. Go find him. You go find him. That's how I got to go because you playing games, bro. You got to take that sister out.
But I mean, the Mystics making the playoffs that's a good step for where they are. Like regardless who they play in, man. Like that's the progression you will want to see. Get the playoff this year, get a taste of it. Then you come back. This young team is one season more experience with some postseason action, and next year get interesting. So I like the trajectory they're on for sure.
Yeah, and then go ahead, Cardo.
Another thing to add to that, what Ray said, I think this can kind of be the first off season where a lot of these ladies don't have to go overseas. They could just stay at home, recuperate, and work out and get prepared for next season. And you know, they can just let their bodies rest instead of just grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is going to be huge for what's it called? This is the second straight year you brought in like 3-4 rookies. This rookie class definitely they definitely need to make the most of that off season, like you said. Folks don't got to go overseas. Like get themselves together. So, you know, now they know what it takes. So you mentioned earlier this year to compete in the W. He was just agreeing with you guys were just talking. Forgot all about Golden State. We're talking about them too. Like, yeah, it's nasty up top.
If they got their choice, holla at Golden State, dog. Because the lane's gonna be a mother. And again, playoff Asia. See, ain't gonna be letting Jackie do her thing. No, feed me. And then y'all play off me. And that's when the 40 and 15, 5 Asia gonna show up. And that's a totally different problem, man.
I deal with her at full throttle for 38 minutes. Yeah. Nah, bro.
She got y'all got her full attention. Like I don't gotta worry about the next game flying here. Like I'm locked in on the miss. That's we've seen it too much. That's a totally different animal.
Definitely get off that. How do y'all think they can improve the rate the guards get to the free throw line?
I mean, I think Cardell, but Cardell touched on it earlier. Just their style of play, the bigs it's going to go through the bigs more often, so they're gonna get a bulk of the free throws. That's just how it is, and it's been successful. Like I don't think we want to switch everything up to try to hope that the guards get more free throws. I mean, how they play fits their personnel.
The wild thing is Swing leads the team in free throw attempts. She's 5.7. She leads the team in free throw attempts, and she got the best percentage on the team. You know, the problem is the bigs don't shoot it well. I mean, Shakira shoots 73%, but that's pretty close to drop in the 60s, and Kiki shoots 64%. and all of them get the most free throws. And then you got Cody, but Cody gets downhill. That's what I mean. You got to drive with purpose. You can't drive and shoot runners and floaters and look for a foul call. The W's fit
Hmm.
you. So you got to go in there, you got to take the hit. You got to take the hit. And they don't always take the hit. They be trying to throw wild hooks and stuff, and the ref's not going to reward that.
Like you said earlier, when they get there, they got to make them. They get to the line more than enough. Even a game like tonight, you got two good defensive teams. Carter, I think you mentioned in pregame, the Lynx were second behind like the Aces in terms of how much they don't foul, per game, and you still got to the line more than the Lynx did. So if you're getting to the line more than a team who rarely fouls, get there and make them. Like get there and make the most out of it. The way you play, because there's not consistent, you don't have the consistent cover of perimeter shooting. That means when you go to the line as a team, y'all need to be shooting closer to 80 something. Like you can't afford to leave free throws on the table. Between the free throws and then the turnovers is against good teams, you end up losing possessions between those two things. And you just can't afford it. They also Air 11 team wanted to say, but I don't know because any team that can shoot threes well will put them at a disadvantage. So what about the Mystics playoff chances and potential matchups?
Yeah, but it's not all about 3-point shooting. I mean, I get it, but they got guard that well. To me, the biggest issue is the main issue that's been there all season is the turnovers. The Mystics are dead last, man. They're dead last. They average 15 turnovers a game. They are dead last. And right now, where they sit, playing the Golden State Valkyries, they're fifth in the WNBA. They score 16.6 points per game off of turnovers. The team tonight, they lead the league. They scored 19 points off of turnovers a game, man. You cannot turn the ball over. Like you can't turn the ball over against any team, but you can do it against the better teams. Atlanta Dream is second with 18. Portland 5, 16.9. They got to because they can't really score that well. And then the Indiana Fever the same way. Like, it's a reason for that. So if you keep giving them extra possessions, especially live ball where most of your team is behind and they just off to the races, they're gonna get easy baskets, and they already can score efficiently. Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, what the hell did I say going into this game? Minnesota was. Oh, I'm gonna pull it up. They second in field goal percentage, 48.5. First in 3-point percentage, 39.4, and fifth in free throw percentage, 80.9. As a team, like they don't miss without you helping them. So now you're gonna give them a live ball turn. Now it's 3-on-1, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, and those type constantly in those situations, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose, man. It's as simple as that.
You get so like you said with those numbers, you're giving a team that shoots from those three places extra possessions. You can't. You,
And also the Mystics is wild. They're dead last in point in turnovers, but they're dead last in scoring off of turnovers. 13.7. So they do not help themselves at all, man. So yeah, man. It's too many leaks, man. You can't cover up all those leaks, man.
I think the last one. Do y'all think this play style, excuse me, is capable of winning in the playoffs where teams can focus on you more, not just this season?
Yeah, because the defending champs go play inside out. The difference is they don't turn the ball over. See what I'm going? You see a common thing that you can't do it in the regular season. You damn sure can't do it in the playoffs, man. Because the killer's gonna play most of the game, and they're gonna get the ball even more. So you just can't. You can't afford to make these mistakes.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's been the biggest thing we talk about. We have been talking about all season long. Is the most important thing is one of the most damning things because we've seen when think about all the times this year when the team does take care of the ball. Like we've seen this, they have those weird quarters when they turn it off 5 times, 7 times. Then they'll respond and come back in the game because what did they do? They didn't turn it over for like a long stretch, and all of a sudden, you watch a team that has a top five defense get stops, not turn it over, and score efficiently in the half court. But they rob themselves so much of it when you give the other team the ball. Like it has been a damning issue for them all year long. And we've seen it play out so many different ways. When they take care of it, they're hard as hell to stop because of the way they play.
Mhm.
But when you can't get the ball inside or the ball gets inside and it's on its way back out or it takes too long or something goes wrong and then again you play inside out. That means two of your bigs is below the free throw line. When you turn it over, and how many times we see when they turn it over, it turns into and one opportunities far too much. Um, and they're always, it feels like it's always live ball turnovers. I swear, I know they do have dead ball turnovers. It just doesn't ever feel like it. Feels like every one of them is live at all times. And then you just can't get back, man. And they don't have because of the way they play, they just don't have enough firepower to overcome those things. And Cardell, as you continue to mention, you play really good teams. It's a different type of game because now you're falling behind by possessions because those teams are that efficient, and you can't make up that. You can't make that ground up against really good teams.
Last thing, the Mystics are ninth in fouls, 19.9. So they put people on the foul line a lot. But they're second in defense, second in points allowed, second in defensive rating. So they could just start fouling
Mhm.
and not turn the ball over. They're going to be tough to beat. And they don't even score the ball that efficiently. But they kill you on the second chance points, and they kill you inside points in the paint. They kill you. And that's their advantage. And then you could play outside, when they get double and stuff, backdoor cuts and all that. That's when the Mystics are at their best. But they just got to stop hurting themselves, man.
Not for sure. We will check in with you guys. This was the last game of a homestand. They went 2-1 on this homestand. As Cardell said, he said they dropped to seventh after this win today, right? Um, so we'll see how that goes. I know they're going on a roll for a little bit, so we'll check in with you guys Sunday evening. And hopefully watch us get back on the win side of things. But those things that we've been talking about all season, things Ray and Cardell were just talking about, that's gonna matter the rest of the way out. So we'll see if they can bounce back from this because you need every win you can while you're trying to jockey for playoff position, especially some of the places we would not like them to end up. So we'll see how that goes. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great evening.